Good evening folks, Silver here. Today's story is the story of what happens when you choose to pursue the paranormal side of Pokemon. What will become of our protagonist? Let's find out. Also, before we begin, only a small percentage of you that listen to these stories are actually subscribed. So, if you end up enjoying this narration, please consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe later. With that, enjoy the story. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, but this one is the worst one that I've made. As a fanaticus of Pokemon games, I've bought all versions that were available in English, though I kept hearing of versions that I'd never heard of. Versions that held mystic and terrifying powers. I didn't believe they were real, but when images began to pop up of cartridges and screenshots, I started to doubt my own mind. This was the first mistake. I stumbled upon a video on YouTube. A video about an alleged Pokemon Creepy Black by a YouTuber called Yuri of Wind. Throughout the video, I was thinking about those versions that I missed. I stopped the video and began googling for these haunted cartridges. Maybe I should have stopped right at that moment. But that was the second mistake. After 3 days, I ended up on eBay. Sounds incredibly cliche, right? Pokemon Game Boy, Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance cartridge. The price was acceptable. $10. Nobody had placed a bid though. It was already on there for 20 days. The picture looked vague and blurry, but there was a visible shape of a Pokemon Blue cartridge. I placed my bid of $18 and waited for about an hour when it was immediately accepted. 7 days later, the package arrived at my house. I should have left it at the front door, but I didn't. This was the third mistake. The package looked wrecked, as if it was run over. Tape was sticking out from all sides and there were huge rips in the side of the box. My address was written with marker on the other side of the box. But for $8 shipping costs, what could you expect? Besides, it wasn't the box I ordered, but the game inside. At least if something was inside, that is. I opened the box to find a lonely cartridge. No bubble wrap, no holder, not even a piece of paper. Just a cartridge. Nothing more, nothing less. I took the cartridge out and discarded the box. I went to sit on my couch and started inspecting my newly bought cartridge. Though one thing got my attention. The cartridge was just a Pokemon Blue cartridge. Nothing was peeled off. The cartridge was no other color, and it didn't have a different title. It just didn't meet the requirements for it to be a haunted cartridge in my opinion. But I went to test it anyways. I wish I just left it in the box, or put it by my other Pokemon games I own. The fourth mistake was done. I put the cartridge in my Game Boy Advance SP and started playing. I went past the startup screen, to the scene with Professor Oak, to the rival battle. But nothing seemed to happen. Nothing I would call weird or haunted. I was expecting ghosts or entities that were living inside my game wanting to kill me. But instead, I got a normal Pokemon Blue. I was disappointed and somehow relieved at the same time. I just went to play the game, for good old time's sake, instead of something unexplainable. Why didn't I just turn it off and play something else? I can't remember. This was the fifth mistake. I was playing for about 2 hours when I got bored. I had already got 2 badges and had completely given up on the hope of it being a paranormal game. As I entered Vermilion City to get the Thunder badge, my game began to lag. The game lagged for a while, until reverting to normal. Although, at the time when the game was lagging, the effect that you would get when a Pokemon was poisoned had appeared. No Pokemon was poisoned though. This was my chance, I thought. This was the paranormal stuff I'd read so much about. Now it was about to go down. But nothing happened. My glitch never happened again. I kept playing all night, waiting for something to happen, until I got my 6th badge in the morning. I just needed to quit. But I didn't. The 6th mistake had happened. I then began to think to myself, who hopes that he finds a cursed object? The people in those stories never really get a happy ending. I don't know why I wanted something like that, but something inside was thinking about the thrill of finding such things. I put my Game Boy away and went to sleep. When I woke up, I went downstairs to get myself something to eat to sate my hunger. I was eating and thinking about the fact that I'd wasted $18 on something that I thought was going to be the greatest horror of my life. I was almost finished eating when I saw my thumb was covered in small, black dots. Oddly, only my thumbs were covered in them. I just began to wash my hands, but the dots didn't come off. I just left them and decided to wait until they went away on their own by wear. I wanted to continue playing my Pokemon Blue, because I was almost done. As I entered the 6th gym, my Game Boy shut down. I restarted the Game Boy, but the game just kept shutting my console down. I tested to see if the switch was working normally, but there didn't seem to be anything wrong. I didn't really attribute this to a glitch or something paranormal, just a mere fluke. I long stopped believing in those stories. Unable to enter the 6th gym, I checked everything I could to see if it was fixable, until after the 5th time I tried entering the gym. The screen turned white instead of black as it did every time before, and it came up with black text saying the following: 0101 0110011 01111 011 0100 1011001000. I decided to take a picture of my screen because I wouldn't remember that text when I turned it off. I stared at my thumb when I took the picture to see that the black dots were still there. I turned my Game Boy back on, and I noticed that I'd obtained the 6th badge, but I still couldn't enter the gym. Then, I decided to go to the Indigo Plateau. This was the 7th mistake. I was on my way to the Indigo Plateau when suddenly a strange feeling began to grow inside of me. A feeling of being watched. I hastily looked around only to find nobody watching. I made my way through Victory Road, but without any encounters. All the trainers were gone too, and it was only me, walking around in a cave searching for an exit. I decided to save before exiting, because I didn't want to lose any progress if something happened. I headed into the exit. The screen flashed white and stayed white, before another black text appeared. This time, it was another number, only way too long to place here, so I've attached the photo that I took of it. I couldn't figure out how these numbers were appearing, or why they were doing that, or what they even meant. I turned my Game Boy on once again. My character was located inside the arena, facing Lorelei. Without me pressing anything, the battle began, and I sent out my level 59 Charizard. But then she sent out a level 49 Haunter, instead of any Ice Water Pokemon. I was a bit excited, but that excitement suddenly turned into pure fear for no reason. I kept mashing A without moving my fingers, staring at the screen like something locked my view inside of it. My Charizard lost the battle, and the screen went to white once more, but this time with no text. The screen started to flicker, and a screeching sound emerged from the Game Boy. The sound was like that freezing sound you get when you pull out a cartridge while the game is still on. I was still staring at the screen, hypnotized. I remained trapped, staring at the flickering until it went off. I sat there for a good minute, until I hurried and turned the Game Boy back on. But nothing happened. The screen stayed black. I tried putting the cartridge into another Game Boy, but then that Game Boy would just show the black screen too. I should have just left it off. This was the final mistake. Since then, I felt hollow inside. No fear, no happiness, no emotion whatsoever. The black dots on my hands were gone the next day. But I feel like something is missing. Something I can't place my finger on. But now it's gone.